Welcome, Karen. Yay.
Welcome.
Hello, Karen.
Welcome, Karen.
Karen.
Welcome, Karen.
Welcome, Karen.
You guys are amazing. I'm Karen Orlosky. I live in Cumming, Georgia right now. And when the company came out with the tower garden, I just went, I have never been successful gardening. I would try and plant and I just couldn't water enough. Something would eat it. And so it took me about 6 months to buy the tower garden. And then I finally thought, you know what, I've got to try this. I've got to try this because I want my kids to understand that food comes from, where food comes from. It doesn't come from a grocery store. And so I did, and I am blown away. I say that the tower garden grows despite me because honest to God, I'm a lazy gardener and it is amazing. I just did a farmer's market today and I could talk to you guys for 3 hours about my excitement about the tower garden because I've got all kinds of greens. I only started this about a month ago. I have all kinds of greens. I have celery. I have lettuces. I have arugula on there. I have kales. I have Swiss chard. I have another tower garden in the back that has tomatoes and some more greens because those are my favorite things. But the thing that I love, there's a couple of things I love best about the tower garden. And honestly, it's the self-watering. The self-watering and the ease of the tower garden. No dirt, no weeding. It's just incredible. So when I got this, my kids were little and I have an 18 and a 15-year-old now, and they would go out and just pick right off the tower garden. So if you have kids, gosh, this is just a must have because when they take part in the journey of growing their own food, they are way more likely to eat it. And so what's really neat is my daughter would go out and I'd sometimes have to stop her because I'm like, the tomato isn't done yet. The cucumber isn't done yet. You got to wait another, day or two. And she would just go out and pick it off and then just eat it right from the vine. And I loved it. And I was okay with it because guess what? It's organic. We know where the food is being grown. It's, I'm spraying it, if anything, with neem oil. Like it's unbelievably clean food. The taste of it is so much better. If you guys grew up, we had family in New Jersey and we would take road trips and we would stop at the markets on the side of the road and we would get the tomatoes and we would get the corn and oh my gosh, the flavor. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, when you go to the grocery store now and you buy some of that produce, you can cut into a tomato and it looks like a tomato, but it sure doesn't taste like a tomato. So when you grow on the tower garden, the taste is there. It brings back my childhood of being able to grow the produce. I know where it came from. I know the source. I can go, right under my front or the back, depending on what produce I want, and go get the produce and I have it for dinner. Or lunch. So it just has made my life so much easier. I love being able to share it. The last few years with everything that's gone on, I have had so many people that have wanted to take control of growing their own produce. And it just doesn't get any easier than this. I love being able to share this with other people that have had the same challenges as me of trying to grow their own produce. Especially in Florida. If anybody in here is from Florida, it just gets hot, especially in the summertime. And with the tower, with the self-watering, it just has made it so, just easy. And so I really am honestly, when I say this thing grows despite me, all the plants grow despite me. You can be gone for a week and come back and say, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So I have a new customer who actually did that exact thing. She was gone for a week and she sent me a video and she said, I can't believe how out of control this thing is getting. The no dirt, the self-watering, the fact that it is organic. You can, keep all this produce organic and that it is just simple. I'm so excited about this. One thing I also want to share with you too is I got started with the Juice Plus products. That's how I came in because they didn't have the tower garden. I've been taking Juice Plus. It'll be 19 years next month in May, which is unbelievable to me. And honestly, I was raised by, I was adopted and I was adopted by a nurse. My mom was a nurse and then my dad. And so it was all about treatment. It wasn't about prevention. It wasn't about put down the Pop-Tarts and eat some more fruits and vegetables. So I really didn't know. It wasn't until in my 30s somebody introduced me to Juice Plus. And it happened to be when I was pregnant. And by the end of the pregnancy, I felt so much better. I realized I no longer needed my allergy and asthma medication. I had been on prescription medicine for as long as I can remember, the inhaler. I didn't need that anymore. And I just thought, my goodness, if the nutrition in these pills can do that, imagine if I actually changed my diet and I started to eat healthier. And so I did start to make one simple change with that. And so my friend Barbara Sanders, who is still with the company, she's the one who shared with me almost 19 years ago. And so making one simple change with the food, the first thing I did was I gave up soda because I thought, okay, what's the easiest thing I can do? What's one of the worst things I'm doing? So I gave up soda and I gave it up for a month. And then I just continued to do that. And 19 years later, I'm still doing that. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I never knew my passion was going to be helping others get healthier. That was not something I grew up saying, I can't wait to help others get healthier. But this business has allowed me to experience that. There is nothing more gratifying than when somebody calls you and they say, we don't get sick as often anymore. My child isn't constipated anymore. I don't have symptoms from the autoimmune I've got anymore. And whether it's they're eating, produce from the Tower Garden and they're eating way more plant-based, they're taking the Juice Plus, they're doing both. We've got amazing plant-based smoothies. Whatever it is, it has just allowed me to grow as a person and to also really be fulfilled. I just love that. As a business, what this has done for me, honestly, and this is when I kind of tear up a little bit, is it has allowed me the time freedom. Sorry. To spend time with my parents, both my parents who are now deceased. Oh, shoot. I was able to spend time with them. I didn't have to ask a boss for time off. I didn't have to do all that. It also has allowed me to grow up with my kids. I was homeroom mom. I could go on any field trip I wanted to. I was home, and here when they got home from school. So I just can't even, I'm just so grateful that what this company has done, the business, the products, the time freedom, the financial freedom we have gotten from this, the health that we have gotten from this, the health I'm able to share with others. So I just am feeling so blessed. I hope you guys can hear that. And I know it wasn't a perfect speech, but I just love it.